again, trying to give you a little bit more assistance with using online calculators. I know I've talked about Desmos as a graphing calculator, but now I see they've actually added a really good scientific calculator function. So I'm here at desmos.com right there, and I'm down here at the fourth function in scientific calculators. I'm going to click on scientific. That's going to give me a calculator somewhat similar to what we use at school. Here's your squared button. Here's to raise to an exponent other than 3. Like if I, other than 2, like if I want to do 5 to the third power, I would press 5 and then that, and it takes me to an exponent, and I can put the 3 in, and you see the answer show up over here on the side. This is obviously going to let you change some things. Here's your fraction button. Here's your absolute value bars, and here's your radical, right? Parentheses, or you can use the keyboard. And here it doesn't really distinguish between subtract and negative. So for a negative number, you would just put in that, the minus. So I'm going to show you 2 examples from the assignment that you were doing, assignment number 1, just to show how you could do this. If I'm going to do a look at this one right here, right, 3t squared plus 5t plus 6 when t equals negative 3, which means I'm going to plug in negative 3 for the t here and negative 3 for the t right there. So coming over to my calculator, I'm going to do it all in one shot. 3, then parentheses, negative 3, and I can just put a minus, negative 3, and then I'm going to press squared, and you see the exponent, and then plus 5, parentheses, negative 3, and then plus 6, and you'll see I get an answer of 18, which is the correct simplification. And in fact, I wonder if you can just copy and paste this whole thing. No, can't quite do that, but it was worth a shot. I'm also going to show you how to do this large radical. So if I press enter, it just stores the thing I did before. So this radical is the square root, or radical, 25 minus x squared, when x is 3, because it's f of 3. And we know that this means the number I'm plugging in, and this is asking me for the output. So I'm going to first just put in my radical right there, radical, 25 minus, now I have an exponent, so I'm going to do a parentheses, put my base of 3 in the parentheses, and then my exponent of 2 outside, so there's my squared, and you'll see all of that simplifies to 4. Last one I'll show you is this complicated one on the bottom. A lot of people had trouble with it. You have to remember, for a large fraction like this, you need to do the top, then the bottom, then divide them together. So the first thing I'm going to do, my plug-in number is 1/2. I'm going to do the top, square root, or radical, 2, parentheses, and I'm going to come over here to use my fraction button, a over b, and I'm going to put in 1/2, close parentheses, plus 3. You'll see we're still all underneath the radical, which is exactly what I want, and I get a simplified answer of 2. But I'm not done yet. So after that, I'm going to do the bottom, which is 6, and then instead of the x, I'll again plug in my fraction of 1/2. Close those parentheses, minus 5, and I get negative 2. And then I know my last step, because of the fraction bar, is to divide. So I will do 2. Let me clear that so you see it. 2 divide by negative 2, and I get a final answer of negative 1, which is the correct simplified answer for this question right here. So that's how you use Desmos as a regular calculator, and in addition to as a graphing calculator. I hope this was helpful.